There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Cold the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, February 9th. We're kicking off a new beginning after the Super Bowl last night. We got NBA and college basketball to talk about here on the show, but I'm going to recap the Super Bowl, of course, here from yesterday. And man, exciting time. Hey, I had a great time here with you guys on the Sports Money Network with Seattle's dominance there over the New England Patriots yesterday in Super Bowl 60. It was Seahawks winning it 29-13, capturing their second Lombardi trophy, and it was dominance really from the outset. New England didn't even score for the first three quarters, becoming the first team since 1974 to go scoreless through three quarters of a Super Bowl. Patriots' first 9 drives of the game tell the story. We recited them there during the game, basically three and outs all the way. But in those first 9 drives, 38 plays, 79 yards, 0 points. And in the fourth quarter, Seattle held a staggering 297 to 78 yardage advantage, and the competitive portion of the game was over long before the final 8 minutes when the Patriots put up enough numbers there to even get some of their props in. But the Seahawks defense was relentless. 6 sacks of Drake May, good for 43 yards of lost yardage. 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery for a +3 turnover margin, and a defensive touchdown. May was under constant duress in the game as Seattle's front collapsed the pocket and the secondary erased all those throwing windows, making life miserable for Drake May. The Patriots passing game never found any rhythm really until the very end, and it didn't matter at that point. It was garbage time, and there was really no run game to stabilize things. I thought the Patriots got a little out of their way without giving Stevenson a chance yesterday to kind of control anything. So they felt rushed. They went rushed, and in turn that prevented them from getting any offensive rhythm at all. Meanwhile, Seattle did their own controlling of the tempo, 42 plays in their first 6 drives for 183 yards, 3 field goals, but that was enough to keep the momentum going into halftime. And they really didn't need explosive plays as they dictated the field position, other than the fact the Patriots did have a few moments of kind of swinging the field position in their favor in the first few drives of the game, but that was only because the Seahawks couldn't capitalize with any touchdowns, and the Patriots were having a pretty good defensive day anyway early on. But it was Kenneth Walker who delivered the championship performance with 27 carries, 135 rushing yards, and also 26 receiving yards as he repeatedly moved the chains and bled the clock and had a few big runs in there. So Jason Myers of from Chula Vista, California, modern-day Catholic high school, was automatic with 5 field goals. He almost won the MVP away from Walker, I thought, anyway. They said early in the fourth quarter, the NFL app alerted fans like me, hey, vote for the MVP of the game. And I thought, hey, I want to vote for Jason Myers, the kicker. Maybe a little bit biased, but I want to see him win. I couldn't find him on the app. That's important. 80% of the MVP vote comes from the media. There's 16 media members that actually vote for the MVP, and then 20% is the fan vote. Well, how can you give it a legitimate vote if I couldn't vote for Myers? So my vote, I gave it to Walker then eventually, and yeah, that's a huge percentage and a lot of people in there, but that felt a little bit chintzy there. They couldn't vote for the guy that I thought was the MVP of the game. Anyway, Sam Darnold finished off his career resurgence, his fifth team there in Seattle. We've seen him at other stops along the way, but he had a 202-yard performance, protected the football, and Seattle didn't turn the ball over at all in the postseason. So Drake May did finish with 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. He did rush for 35 yards, but that late game volume really just reflected the lack of early game success. As for 3 quarters, he had no protection, limited separation from the receivers. Stephon Diggs was acting a fool out there, even though he did get picked on a little bit. But hey, when you talk the game like Stephon Diggs, you got to back it up. And if you got the other team ready to take a shot at you, all you can do is fight back because you ain't doing it on the field. Stephon Diggs has got troubles ahead of him anyways. So Hunter Henry also was largely neutralized there, as well as May's passes were off target there. A lot of misdirection where he ended up on the wrong side of the direction the receivers were going. It looked like a little bit of a awkward game plan for May and the Patriots. New England certainly had a great season. They'll play that first place schedule next year. They did win just 8 games over 2 seasons before this incredible run this season with their defensive quality. They definitely had some great defensive players in the game, like Christian Rodriguez, to keep them in the game early. But Mike Vrabel did orchestrate a major turnaround for that team. You've got to think they still have room for improvement, although it was a little bit disheartening for them to not really be able to get much done there. And you guys had it right. You guys called it for the most part in the chat. Did feel like the public was, and the bookmakers corroborated with the premise that the public was indeed on Seattle. You guys were telling me that New England was the public side there, but bookmakers said they needed New England to win the game. So not sure if they're just making that up or if indeed the Patriots were the public dog. That's what I thought I was on, was a non-public underdog in the New England Patriots. So now the Seattle Seahawks are up for sale immediately. They'll command between $7 and $9 billion for the franchise. But hey, if you want to buy the Seattle Seahawks, you're going to start on top right now, and they have a reason to believe that they can win it again. They're the current favorites, albeit slightly heading into next season. They are atop the odds board here currently heading into the 2026 season under general manager John Schneider. Basically used 13 draft picks in starting roles and 6 veterans to kind of fill in the blanks via trade and free agency. So depth, development, discipline roster, exciting head coach as well. So in a season that didn't have Kansas City, didn't have the Eagles, didn't have the 49ers or the Rams from that division, as the power shifted in the West and turned out to be the 12s winning it up there in Seattle. Hey, hopefully you are on the right side. Thank you for joining me here on the show. As we get rolling, we'll preview some NBA and college basketball here today, but we'll welcome your comments on the Super Bowl from yesterday. Hope you enjoyed our coverage here on the Sports Money Network of Super Bowl 60. Hello to everyone in the chat. Let's say hello and see who's here to get us started today as we get ready for the push. Pitchers and catchers reporting tomorrow. That's what happens as we get ready for the next season up. And, of course, also next up will be March Madness here in just a few weeks. And we get ready for some exciting college basketball as our focus here for the next month and a half. Let's take a look at the folks here. Greg Gibson ready to get the money today. Here's Power Critter here. Bobby Mack is ready to go this morning. Kripke are also in here. Seahawks, an easy play for him there. M the Great is ready to go here. Also, Kripke, see, I didn't see it that way. I thought I was in the minority. I mean, this is what everyone keeps telling me, and I guess I'm just in a different world as everybody else. Like I said, the bookmakers were saying that they needed the Patriots to win the game because so many people were on Seattle. So what was it really? Let's see who else is joining us. D-Money in there. Hey, there's Nuke in the chat, everyone. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel. Sports Money here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. And Kane is here today. He's proud of the effort of the Patriots. It does feel like they can be competitive here. Yeah, they'll play a tougher schedule this year, but why wouldn't they be an improved team? There are a lot of people burying the Patriots here at this point, saying this was a one-hit wonder. And let's see. I think that's it from the chat. Thank you for joining me here on the show. All right, there was some other winners that we had yesterday in the NBA and college basketball. We had a pretty good day leading up to the Super Bowl anyway, and I was able to come through with a few props. Hopefully the breakdowns worked for you there. With some of the players anyway, although I was on the short end of the game and total. I thought it would be, well, mostly I was on the over because I thought everybody was on the under. Turns out everyone's telling me that the public was on the over. If I'd have known that, I would have went with the under. Man, was I just not paying attention to what the public was doing? And if so, kind of crossing up myself. I mean, I thought I was on a contrarian over in that game. I mean, everybody I watched, everybody I heard from talking about this game was basically scripted it like it was. I mean, to me, the talking heads are exactly right in this game. I thought I was the contrarian one. All I saw all week was Seattle talk on these channels. Everyone talking up that they would dominate, and they did. But apparently everyone else here, maybe because they watch me, maybe because you guys watch me, and I was doubting those what I thought were contrarian sides. So, yeah, shame on me. But I know the guys here crushed it for sure yesterday. So, hey, we did have some winners here on the morning's team yesterday with the Heat and the Wizards game to go under. Also, Clippers and Timberwolves to go under. There, and we also have the Clippers as our premium pick there over at winnable.com in yesterday's game as the Clippers rolled over the Timberwolves there, and we also brought it home yesterday in other basketball action here before the Super Bowl came around. At least we were able to put some winners together in the everyday sports there yesterday, as also we had the Indiana Pacers and Toronto game to go under. So 3-1 yesterday in the NBA here on the show, at least for me. All right. Also college basketball. Able to bring home some winners on the morning's team yesterday, including Tulsa and South Florida game to go under. I ended up going, speaking of contrarian, kind of going with Tulsa there yesterday. I was getting 5. They lost by 6. So my parlay didn't come through here on the show, but we did bring home other morning steam winners, including Michigan and Ohio State game to go under yesterday. We also had NC Greensboro yesterday, plus the points against Furman, and they got it done in a 67-64 win there. So, all right, really appreciate everyone who tuned in yesterday. Also, the premiums there in my college basketball weren't great. That was for sure. We got caught just laying too many points, and we're able to bring home one winner there with the premium pick on Northwestern, getting the points against Iowa yesterday. They were getting a 12.5 there or so. We got the win there in that one, and also VIP selection over at winnable.com with the over in that game. So yeah, we were heading there with some winners. I was anyway with some winners early on, but it all unraveled for me in the Super Bowl. All right, let's see here who's going to be here. Hey, you can get more picks from me over at winnable.com/Ramon if you dare, and you can also win free picks from me here with our show today when you go to the chat and comment with me here. Just comment or make a pick in the chat, say hello, type a 1, whatever you want to do, and you'll get a chance to win a 1-month subscription from me over at winnable.com. Please check out my picks over there and subscribe by using the promo code STEAM at checkout to save 20% off premium pick packages. I'll have packages here. We already had some action here early on, so check me out over at winnable.com. We did have our free pick there. In the women's Olympic hockey, we did push earlier in the game between Italy and Japan. It was 3-2 as Italy got a little bit of an upset in there. The home team there 3-2 in Olympic action here on Monday. We've already seen some medal events come home here today, and there's other action still to come. In fact, the hockey game coming up here in just a short time between France and Germany. A little bit lopsided there, but if you want, you can get my picks for the remaining Olympic hockey games over at winnable.com when you subscribe. I've got picks in all 3 games, including United States and Switzerland, Canada, and Czechia action here at the Winter Olympics here today. So we're already watching some of the action and some of the events here in the Olympics today, and we still got other games to come here. We've seen already curling action here today, also men's team combined slalom as well coming up here in just a short time. Speed skating, the women's 1000 with a couple Americans there. They're going to have to step up their speed skating, though, to get into any kind of medal contention. Also, later on here, luge kind of getting underway. Some ski jumping, more figure skating there. How about the great performance yesterday from the team skate there? The U.S. getting the gold medal, and we were already on the air yesterday with the results in the women's downhill. Still a bit of a story there after the injury to Lindsey Vonn, of course, and a little bit of fallout that maybe she was rushed back to the action there and probably should have never been in the downhill after competing basically on a sprained ACL, which apparently she tore in that accident. So, all right, a little bit of news coming in. The Red Sox have acquired Caleb Durbin from the Brewers for starting pitcher Kyle Harrison and second baseman David Hamilton as well. So a little bit of a trade, and we're getting ready for the bats and balls to be rolled out here tomorrow in some of the sites. And before you know it, we're having some spring training games to get us over to baseball season after the Super Bowl yesterday. And we saw the odds of the coming in for the Super Bowl next year. Like I said, the New England Patriots, they're also still going to be a contender, but Seattle, like I said, is on top of next year's charts, if you will. The plus 750 to win the Super Bowl. LA Rams 8-1, Baltimore Ravens 12-1, Buffalo Bills 12-1, Packers 14-1. Chargers 15-1, Eagles 15-1, Chiefs 16-1, Lions 18-1, Patriots 18-1, 49ers 18-1, Broncos 20-1, Texans 20-1, Jaguars 20-1, and Bears 28-1. And then you get into the category that, really what we saw from these two teams. Both these teams, Seahawks and Patriots were around the 60-1 range. So maybe if you look to next year, you got Bengals 30-1, Cowboys 30-1, Colts 40-1, Commanders 45-1, Falcons 50-1, Buccaneers 50-1, Vikings 55-1 among those middle group, and then the rest are somehow the Raiders are ahead of 6 teams. I don't think Fernando Mendoza can help this team to pass some of the teams up there, like the Panthers, Saints, Titans. Come on, the Raiders will be lucky to not be the worst team in the league again next season, even if they draft the talented rookie. All right, we're going to get right to the action here with our games on Monday. We got a 10-game NBA card, as well as action from college basketball, including some big ones here, including one really big one here today. So, all right, we got a few more people commenting here on the chat for the action here, but we're going to get started. BJ Anderson is here as well. He cashed with Seahawks. See, BJ was in the minority there, apparently, even though everyone around me is like waving it in my face that they all won. So, I'm not sure what went on. All right. Caden said Drake May can improve off of that effort. I mean, why wouldn't the Patriots, be able to improve on this team? Yeah, you're playing a first place schedule, and that is the way you go there. And Greg Gibson, he could take a hike as far as I'm concerned. If you don't want to hear it, you can just leave right now. I mean, if I'm not giving you enough action here, I mean, it's fine. We don't need that kind of BS and attitude in here. You didn't hear the recaps yesterday and the preview that I gave out telling you what I thought some of the areas of the players that were going to succeed. I mean, it felt like to me the handicap was on. So again, I went against people like you. So I'm willing to fade the Gibson numbers, believe me. All right, AUD is here today as well. And let's see here. Kripke talking about the Timberwolves woes in there. And let's see who else. That might be it. There's Public Enemy. He's taking a victory lap with the Seahawks as well. He told us all what was going on. And that's it. All right. Let's get to the action here today in the NBA. We've got the 10-game card, including some blockbuster tilts here right now. Let's get into the card and get started here. And it'll be the Detroit Pistons taking on the Charlotte Hornets here. And all of a sudden, this turned into a good game here with the Pistons favored on the road by 3. And the total 223 here in this one. Pistons, man, they are on a roll, but not like the Hornets. The Hornets are on the real roll here right now. The Pistons are on the long-term roll. So far this season is one of the best teams in the NBA with their record of 38-13. Charlotte comes in here 25-28, but that's just a dramatic improvement with their awesome 9-game winning streak here coming in. They've covered 6 of their last 7 games overall right now. Charlotte has gone under in 8 of their last 11, and 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Detroit's gone under in 13 of their last 18 games coming in, and they've also won 6 of the last 8 meetings against the Hornets, although they've covered just 1 of the last 4, meaning Detroit has been an underdog in some of these games over the past couple of seasons against the Hornets, and the Hornets have come through with the cover. But here the Pistons are favored on the road. They did taste a defeat the other night in a loss here to the Washington Wizards. It kind of upended their hot streak a little bit. They might have got caught looking ahead to the game against the Knicks, because then they ended up blasting the Knicks 118 to 180 after that. Charlotte, though, comes in as one of the best covers in the league here, 24-15 as an underdog. But man, they've been turned into a favorite sometimes in these games. Not here in this one, though, with as hot as the Pistons have been. Let's see what you think in this one, with Pistons taking on the Charlotte Hornets tonight here in NBA action. The Hornets are 8-16 to the under at home this season, and Detroit is 17-24 to the under as a favorite, 9-13 to the under on the road. So Pistons, definitely one of the best teams in the league here, but the Hornets playing like one of the best teams in the league with this surge right now that feels for real. Although, yeah, maybe the schedule's been a little bit soft here of late for the Hornets, but you can't deny the kind of run that they've been on here over the last several games. It's just that can the Pistons outlast them here one more time? They're obviously the better team here, but this Hornets run has just been very, very strong. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one, with Detroit taking on Charlotte here today. All right. All right, here we go. And AOD is going to come in here a little bit. Cash Kane is on the Pistons. Wait a minute. Is AOD on? Well, he's on, just acknowledging that the Hornets have been on fire here. Power Critter might be liking the Hornets here in this one. And Greg's still bitter about about me here. All right, Greg, I'm sure there's some other shows you could go pester. Kripke's on the Hornets here. Jordy is on the Hornets as well. And welcome to Gary here today. And let's see, D-Money's on the Hornets here right now. And Fernando's on the Hornets as well. All right, man, a lot of momentum here with this Hornets team right now. I'm sure Detroit's been playing well. Hey, I think in this one, with this total at 223 and just such solid information here to me on the under, I've got to think it's going to stay under. Like I said, we're looking at these trends here with these two teams. I mean, we have two teams that have been just crushing these unders here of late. Also, Charlotte under in 8 of their last 11. So I'm just going to take the under here in this one. I'm going to take the under now. Got me on tilt, so give me an under to start the action here. But if you had to look at this card, I mean, this one does have the most information there going with the under. All right. Hornets on the spread full game for 9 legacy. And that'll do it for that one. Let's move on to our next one here with the Bulls taking on the Nets. NBA action here for Monday night. Bulls come in here. Man, the Bulls are back on a 4-game losing streak. And, it seems like with this injury here to Giddey, that when he is out, it just seems like he must be a crucial part to this Bulls offense, or this Bulls team in general. When he's been out of the lineup, the Bulls have struggled to win. I don't want to say he's the necessary player that the Bulls kind of need in there, but this is the second time where he's been kind of on an extended, injury spree, if you will. And the last time he was out, that's when the Bulls were losing as well. So they're on a 4-game losing streak. He's been missing games here, and he might miss this one again here right now against the Brooklyn Nets. Giddey doubtful with that hamstring injury. Jalen Smith questionable. Trey Jones is doubtful as well. Michael Porter is out of this game for Brooklyn, and Demon is out as well here. So you do have the Bulls favored by 3.5, and the total 221.5 here right now. Yeah, the steam came in on the under here in this one, and I don't know, that's probably the direction I'd go. But let's take a look at some of the trends and get your picks in this one between the Bulls and the Nets here tonight. Chicago definitely struggling. I mean, we know that they're one of the worst favorites around. I mean, they're 8-16 ATS as a favorite. They come in having gone just 1-7 in their last 8 games overall, 1-7 ATS. Here, Chicago just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games against Brooklyn. Brooklyn's been awful here of late again, just winning 3 of their last 18 games overall. Brooklyn's gone over in 8 of their last 12, and Chicago's gone over in 4 of their last 5, but 4 of the last 5 games between the two teams have gone under, and this total has dropped here from 223 to 221.5 right now. Chicago is 10-13 to the under as a favorite, and Brooklyn is 22-26 as an underdog here, although Brooklyn has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games at home. I'm going to take the under here in this one at 221. Give me the under here in this one. Take your comments in the chat here. And let's see what we've got. All right, Cash Kane is on the Bulls here right now, and Robert here also on the Bulls in this one. Hawks here are on the money line, and Jordy is on the money line as well. All right, and let's see what Greg's saying now. We talked Super Bowl all day, and now he's got a problem with me. So, yeah, I provide a great forum here for you, Greg, to come on in and give me your information. But all you give us is the same. All you do is give us the spread. I mean, I can sit here all day long. 113 to 109. The Bulls are favored by 4, and the total's 221.5. I mean, I can figure out the spread and put it on the screen 20 times a day. All right, here's the Nets. I mean, that's not going to get you any winners at all. Okay, Public Enemy's on the Nets here. And I think that's going to do it for the chat in that one. All right, let's move on to the Jazz taking on the Heat here in this one. You got the Heat favored by 7.5. Total 240.5 here in this one with Miami. A pretty big favorite here, of course, against the Jazz. Jazz are losing games again here. Last 2 to Orlando and Atlanta, both games on the road here. But, hey, they got the money. In fact, they've covered 4 straight coming in. That's what Utah does right now. They're always getting enough points in some of these roles, but Miami's been one of the best favorites going here of late. They just dumped Washington 132 to 121 as a 13.5 point favorite. Before that, they had losses to Boston and Atlanta. For Miami here, 31-22 against the spread, 15-12 against the spread as a favorite. And the spread has dipped here a little bit in the Jazz's favor. It went from 8.5, it looks like, down here to 7.5 right now. And the total has been dropping rapidly in this game, which if you look at these two teams in general, you might think, Utah 32-21 to the over, 28-19 to the over as an underdog. But with Miami such a substantial favorite, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of a move here. Right now I'm showing 7.5s and maybe some 8s out there right now. For Utah, Keontae George is out of this game. Normie Powell questionable here for Miami. Pelle Larson questionable here in this one. Tyler Hero also out. But I got to respect the move here, especially with the fact that Utah on the road, they are just 13 up and 13 down as far as the total is concerned on the road. Yes, as an underdog, they do give up more points here, but will the Heat be able to produce? And with this total dropping lower, I'm just going to take the under at 240.5 here. Man, I've missed out on school. You miss out here with this total, but it's dropping lower here. Okay, let's see what we've got here in this one from the chat between Utah and Miami. All right. VJ not really going to trust the Jazz here too much. And Public Enemy likes the Jazz and the Heat game to go over. All right, I'm going to take the under here. We probably missed about 3.5 points of value in the total here, as this one has been a pretty big mover, maybe the biggest mover overnight right now. In fact, I'm showing Circa just moved to 7 in this game. Maybe the Heat can offer some value here. A point spread has moved 1.5, and the Jazz definitely have some issues getting some numbers here, but sometimes they're getting enough. I'm not sure in this one. These two teams did meet in their first and only meeting here so far this season, and it was 147 to 116. Miami did put a beat down on them at Utah, so we'll see if they can at least cut the margin here. That's a pretty big number. That was 263 points, well over a 244.5 total in that last game. So basically it was the same total there, but Miami scored all those points. So I'll try the under here and figure Utah is not going to be able to produce enough points here in this one to make it go over there. I'll take the under in this one. All right, let's see here. Robert was on the Jazz, Heat's on the money line, and Jerry says New England was overrated. Man, it had a pretty strong spread record. That would indicate that they were still underrated in the end there. But again, that's definitely where I was wrong. I mean, they got to give you credit in that one. The Solution likes the Heat in the money line. All right, next up, we've got the Bucks on the road here taking on Utah, the Orlando Magic. Magic here favored in this one by 10.5. Now this one's up from 9.5 here with the Magic at home. A total here in this one 218.5. Orlando coming in, winning a couple in a row. The Bucks have won 3 in a row right now, and kind of coinciding with the fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks. All of a sudden, the Bucks are playing well here without him, with consecutive wins over Chicago, New Orleans, and Indiana. They covered all those games. They won all those games, and they were underdogs, just as they are here today. Big underdogs to the Orlando Magic. They're covering Orlando here. Meanwhile, back-to-back wins over Utah and Brooklyn. They did not cover against Utah last time out. They did cover against the Nets. They also had losses to OKC and San Antonio, so played a bit of a tough schedule. But the Bucks here all of a sudden are the team that's looking like they have a little bit of momentum here without Giannis. We know he's going to miss another game here. It's 10.5 and 219 here. Giannis still out, of course. Cam Thomas questionable. We'll see if he can make a appearance here for the Milwaukee Bucks. Also, Franz Wagner for Orlando is out of this game. And now that number is going up here for Orlando, and the Bucks all of a sudden have found some momentum. So, well, maybe they're getting enough points here, but let's see what you have here in this one with Orlando and Milwaukee. It does seem like a lot of support here for Orlando, but man, they are getting the money. For the Bucks here, they've lost 8 of their last 12 and also went 4-8 against the spread in those 12 games. Milwaukee just 1-4 ATS against Orlando in their last 5 games. They come in having won 17 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams. Talking about the Milwaukee Bucks here, granted, Giannis Antetokounmpo was available and played in most of those games. Orlando just 3-7 against the spread. Their last 10 games overall, having won 4 of their last 6 coming in. They also had a home win over Toronto recently that they kind of shellacked them there as a 2.5-point favorite. Orlando's gone over in 4 of their last 6. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Total here is at 219, even 220 here at a few books right now. So I'm going to take the Milwaukee Bucks, though, here, getting these covers here of late. I'll try them again to get a number here on the road. I don't know if we're seeing enough from Orlando to covered double digits here at this point. Orlando still just 27 and 24 overall. And I'll try the Bucks here, plus the 5 here right now. Let's see what you have in the chat. All right. And let's see here. There's BJ. He's on the Bucks on the money line. Cash Kane is on the over here. D Money Bucks plus the points, and sprinkle that money line. Robert's going over here. Greg's on the Bucks. The solution says, since you know Giannis, but they've been covering those numbers. Public Enemy likes the over here in this one. All right, next up, Kings and Pelicans. NBA action here for a Monday. Kings on the road, getting looks like 7.5, maybe 8 here right now. Total 231.5. This one's kind of been on the move here overnight. It feels like here with the Pelicans, they were as low as I think it opened as low as 5.5. Maybe the general opener was 6.5, but man, we're seeing a bit of a run on the bank here with the Pelicans up here now by 7.5 or 8 here against the Kings. Now the Kings are back to their losing ways here right now with a losing streak coming in, but hey, they did cover their last 2 games against Cleveland and the Clippers. Still, the Kings are a dismal 9-7 against the spread on the road and 19-29 against the spread as a dog. For New Orleans here, this is only the 7th time this season they have been favored. They're 5-1 against the spread as a favorite this season are the Pelicans. So maybe a little bit of that factored in, and the fact that the Kings are so dismal at covering the spread. Here in New Orleans, pretty solid numbers, ATS overall coming in. For the Pelicans here, they've lost 14 of their last 20, but you have a Sacramento team that is 1-9 against the spread against New Orleans in their last 10 games. Sacramento's on a massive double-digit losing streak right now, going just 4-8 against the spread in their last 12. Sacramento's gone over in 4 of their last 5. However, New Orleans has gone under in 5 of their last 7. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and 5 of the last 6 games for New Orleans have gone under as well. So I'm going to take the under in this one between Sacramento and New Orleans. Give me the under here with these two at 231.5. I'll take the under in this one. Let's see if the chat is interested in this one between the Kings and the Pelicans. All right, Pelicans for Kane. Pelicans money line for Jordy, and Robert is on the under here in this one. Hawks and Timberwolves are next up here on Monday. The Hawks on the road. Minnesota favored by 6.5. Total 238.5. Minnesota lost a couple of games in a row here coming in to New Orleans and the Clippers. They failed to cover right now in 4 straight, but going to be laying a number here to Atlanta for sure. Atlanta comes in off of a loss at home to Charlotte, 126-119. That snapped a 2-game losing streak here. Atlanta 18-12 against the spread as a dog, 17-12 against the spread on the road. This is what's happened, right? What is happening to Minnesota? I guess this is what's happening to Minnesota right now. Not only the losses here to New Orleans and the Clippers, but like I said, a 4-game spread losing streak. And despite the fact that they're 32-22 straight up this season, as we've talked about, basically have the opposite record against the spread, 23-31, 17-26 against the spread as a favorite, and 11-16 ATS at home. So you do have the Hawks kind of riding a little bit of momentum here anyway. And let me see. Oh, man, the steam machine is up and running here. Well, I wondered if they were going to wake up here a little bit and see if the Sharps were moving here at all. There have been some other moves here. Houston Christian and McNeese State steam to the under here between these two, with Houston Christian on the road against McNeese. McNeese still kind of in a must-win situation here as they're chasing the league championship, but Houston Christian and McNeese steamed to the under here. It was 140.5, but we're seeing that line here go down right now, and I'm showing it currently at 138.5 here between Houston Christian and McNeese State. There's our first move right there to the under. How about that? All right, get your opinions right now ready with the Hawks and the Timberwolves. I want to hear from the chat all-stars here in this one. For the Timberwolves, they've failed to cover in, as I said, 4 straight right now. They've gone over in 4 of their last 6, although they've gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Atlanta's gone 6-0 against the spread against the Timberwolves in the last 6 meetings. They meet just twice a year, but Atlanta's won 10 of the last 15 games between these two teams. Atlanta's won 6 of their last 9, but went just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. So with the line here at 6.5, total 238.5 here right now with the Timberwolves at home. All right, I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have here with this one. With Atlanta coming in, man, they have success against this Timberwolves team. I kind of think they might be in the right spot here, but I don't know. For me, I'm probably just going to go with the over. This one's getting away right now, 238.5. It's gone up about 2.5 points, it looks like here, so not much value here, but I gotta go over in this one with Atlanta and Minnesota here in this one. All right, we're seeing some steam just come in here right now on the big basketball game in college tonight. Arizona and Kansas right now, seeing some big steam here to the over right now. This one was 151.5, and we're seeing this one move higher, way higher right now. 154 between Arizona and Kansas tonight. Man, I didn't see that coming. Are we really going to get a shootout here in Lawrence between these two? We know Arizona will preview it later. I mean, we know this team is the favorite right now to win the national championship. Are they going to put a beat down here on Kansas? Anyway, that's total going way over here on some steam right now, and caught me by surprise. All right, see if you have any action here with Atlanta taking on Minnesota here. I'm on the over, but let's see what you have in the chat. Okay, here we go. Kripke said, let's see here. Where are we going first? Kripke says, should be a Timberwolves spot, but there's something wrong with this team. Robert's on the over here right now. And Twisted, happy with that Seahawks game as well. Good morning to Twisted. All right, Public Enemy here. Wolves and Hawks game to go over. And thanks, Twisted, for your college action here. We just talked about it there, right? He's got St. John's game to go under, but there's that Arizona game there. He's on him. He's on Belmont here and Wilmington. Good card for Twisted. And good morning to Bar right now. And he's on the over in this one. And Jordy likes the Timberwolves game to go over.
Steam play.
All right, here's a little more steam here. Maybe we're going to start to heat up a little bit on the old steam machine. Central Arkansas and North Alabama. Here's some steam to the under in this one. It was 149, but this one's going much lower here right now with this game. Showing here right now 147, 140. Oh my goodness, 144.5 at Bet Online right now. This one's already seeing a 4.5 point move to the under with Central Arkansas and North Alabama. Big move to the under here on some widely reported steam. All right, Jordy went over in the Wolves game, and let's move on. And we're going to get to the Laker game in just a moment. First, Cavaliers and Nuggets. But I do just want to pass along one note here. We are getting a word that I think we knew this coming in, but we're just getting it officially now that Luka Doncic will miss tonight's game. for the Lakers here, and we'll see how this affects the line. But Luka is going to be out here right now in the game against the Thunder. So we're already seeing the Thunder move a point and a half higher here a little bit. No Luka tonight. Thunder obviously going to be, we'll get to the game in just a minute, preview it, but just came in that Luka is officially out. Also, I think we have something here, maybe real quick in the Kings and Pelicans game. Dougie McBucket's probable here. Steph Curry also out here. I think we knew that too, but we do have the information coming in that Curry's going to miss tonight's game against the Grizzlies. We're already seeing that line react as well, from 7.5 down to 6.5 right now. We're just coming up to those games, but these injury reports just starting to come in here about the players who will miss. Curry misses again tonight with that knee problem. That runner's knee is what they're calling it. Okay, let's see here. Let's get to the next one here right now. Oh, where did the graphic go here? Cavaliers and Nuggets. All right. Cavs here coming in. They are a 1.5 point dog here to the Nuggets right now, despite a 3-game winning streak here. Cavs been sharp here of late. Cleveland comes in with wins over Portland, the Clippers, and Sacramento. Cleveland here right now was about a pick 'em, but I'm showing the Nuggets here favored by 1 or 1.5 currently. Denver comes in off of a win over Chicago, 136 to 120. They were on a 3-game road trip, but lost the first 2 to Detroit and the Knicks before knocking off Chicago. They did cover against Detroit. For Denver here, 18-15 against the spread as a favorite. I guess they are favored now, even by 1.5 here in some spots. Denver just 14-10 straight up at home. Cleveland 15-10 straight up on the road. These two teams did play their first meeting just about 5 weeks ago, and it was 113 to 108. Cleveland there got the win. They did not cover in that game, laying 13.5 at home to Denver, who was without Luka Doncic in that game. I think Murray, was he out too? 13-point spread in that one. And now all of a sudden we're back here, Denver favored again at home with pretty much a clean injury report. Taking a look currently at Denver's injury report, Murray is questionable. Jokic is probable here right now. Spencer Jones out. Peyton Watson out as well. Gordon continues to be out. For the Cavs, Evan Mobley, he's still out here. Tyson is questionable. Wade is questionable here in this one. So, man, that total has continued to move higher here from 235 up to 237.5 here. I was on another show kind of touting the over there last night, but man, this one's gone much higher right now. So let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one between Cleveland and Denver here. For the Nuggets in this one, they've come in having covered 6 of their last 9 overall, just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. Cleveland's won 7 of their last 8 on the road, 4 of the last 5 against Denver overall. Cleveland winners of 8 of 9. Their only recent loss was a loss at Phoenix to start that road trip, 126 to 113. Then they won against Portland, the Clippers, and Sacramento. So they continue to play well in the wake of the trade with the Clippers. And Cleveland has covered 5 of their last 7 games overall. So let's go to the chat here. I mean, Denver's obviously been such a decent cover anyway, 31-22 against the spread. And Cleveland, we know, 32-21 straight up, but 21-32 against the spread, practically the opposite record for Cleveland. That's continued to be the case. You know, interestingly, the line here, okay, little bit of more injury news coming in here right now. Joel Embiid is questionable tonight for the Sixers against Portland. We're seeing that line move here in favor of Portland right now. It was 4, it's down to 3, and also, despite the fact that we just mentioned that Curry here is going to be questionable in the game, or I'm sorry, out of the game tonight. Let's see what's going on here with this, because the Warriors all of a sudden have gone up to an 8-point favorite. Now, there are big-time injuries for Memphis. I know we're going to get to that game just momentarily, but the line has just moved to 7.5 or 8 for Golden State, despite the fact that Curry is out of the game. Now, for Memphis, Aldama is ruled out here. Clayton questionable, but Wells probable, Spencer probable, Pippen probable. All this is just in, and the line is moving in favor of the Warriors here, despite Curry being out of the game. I'm showing Bet Online has just gone. We just said it went down to 6.5 when Curry was named out, and all of a sudden it's back up to 7.5 or 8 here right now on some action. So. Well, we'll get to it. I'm still on this game between the Nuggets and the Cavs. I'm taking Denver at home to win this one. Jokic is in, so I'm going to take Denver here to win this one at home. Yes, maybe Murray, questionable here, but let me take the Nuggets in this one against the Cavs. Let's go to the chat. All right, and it's going to be here. Public Enemy on the Cavs money line, Crip Keys on the Cavs, and it's Nuggets for VAR. Robert's on the Nuggets here as well. Jordy's on the Nuggets, and Crip Keys says, man, this game's a pick'em all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm showing pick'em here in a few spots for sure. I'm going to take the Nuggets. Maybe the Cavs are the sharp side here with that hot streak. But, Denver's still at home. Just 14-10 straight up. Jordy says Jokic for a double-double. Like to have one of those right now. Okay, so now we're getting into these games where we're seeing this early information come out here. So Thunder on the road here, they're still 7 total, 233.5 with the Lakers here tonight. Obviously, I said no Luka here in this one, but also no SGA. SGA is out. Guard Jalen Williams is out. AJ Mitchell is out as well. For the Lakers, Luka out. Ayton probable, and that's really it on the short-term injuries here anyway for the Lakers here. So they're still going to be favored in this. Still going to be underdogs in this one. The Thunder have definitely come back down to earth here of late, and they've lost 2 in a row again all of a sudden with losses to Houston and San Antonio. For the Lakers here, 3 straight wins, albeit over Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Golden State. Nonetheless, winners here as a favorite. Lakers starting to get it done. Just when you want to deny this team with the criticisms that they get, that's when they seem to go on a roll. So they are getting the points here tonight at home. They'll have to do it without Luka, but the Thunder have had their own set of woes here right now. So let's see what you got in this one between the Thunder and the Lakers without these two, main scorers in there. But this total has continued to shoot up right now. This thing's up to 223. So it's supposed to be, kind of a shootout here. Considering this is about a 5-point move on the total, despite the fact they have 2 top scorers out of this game. So these teams definitely are a bit of an over team here for sure. You got for the Lakers coming in here, they're 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games overall. Oklahoma City just 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games. Now, Lakers have gone under in 8 of their last 11, and 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Oklahoma City's gone over in 4 of their last 5 and over in 5 straight on the road right now. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams in LA have gone under. I'm going to fade this steam. Maybe I'm just missing the boat on this, and the sharps seem to be all over the over here in this one, but I'm going to go under here. This may be a sucker play for me right now, but I'm going to take the under here in this one. The two teams met back in November. It was 121-92. The Thunder did rock them as an 8.5-point favorite, but let me try the under here. Lakers are 15-7 to the over at home. I get all that, but as I said, when you got two high-scoring players here and they're out, the spread's gone up by 5. Let me know what you think in the chat. Public enemies on the Lakers here, and Robert likes laying it here with OKC, so maybe nothing on the total there. Hey, Jackson State and Pine Bluff are seeing some steam here to the under in this one. This is going to be our preview game of the extra board here. Jackson State and Pine Bluff, it was 158, and it's down here to I want to say 156.5 or so right now with Jackson State and Pine Bluff. And that total is down to, just 156.5. So about a 1.5 move there in that one. There's Barr giving us a look. He does like the over as well. I'm going to respect this steam here a little bit on the over, but I got to take the under with SGA and Luka out. That might be a square look. Maybe the rest of the scorers here step up. We know the Lakers have kind of gotten healthy in some other areas. So Jordy says Lakers money line or the over. Thank you to Jordy. All right, next up here is the Grizzlies taking on the Warriors. Here in this one, Warriors minus 6.5. Total here 223.5. Like I said, just coming in here with this injury news in this game as well. And again, here you have it. I'm showing even right now at Bovada, this thing's up to 8.5. DraftKings up to 8.5. Are they sure they didn't get the injury report backwards here with Curry in this game? Like I said, Memphis does have some guys here now on this injury list here, notable, right? We know Ja's out, but he's been out for a while right now. There's definitely some depth issues here, possibly for Memphis. But again, you've got a few players also on the return here with Wells, Spencer, and Pippen all ruled in here within the last 15 minutes tonight. So we're seeing some crazy moves out here despite the news cycle, it feels like here a little bit in this one. And this total at 223.5. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to take the Grizzlies here. I mean, they're showing some signs of life. Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row here, coming in back-to-back games at Portland. They're on a road trip here. They did beat Sacramento to start off. They've covered 3 of their last 4. They are 12-21 as an underdog against the spread. Meanwhile, for Golden State here, they are 14-12 against the spread at home. But I'm probably just going to take Memphis here in this one. Maybe I'm on tilt after the Super Bowl, right, everybody? Memphis has gone just 7-13 against the spread their last 20 games overall. Memphis has lost 7 of the last 8 meetings against Golden State, and they've lost 8 of their last 10 overall. Golden State just 3-6 straight up and against the spread coming in. Golden State's gone under in 5 of their last 7, although 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. This total has dropped here about 1.5 here, and I would think it's going to be possibly a lower scoring game than this. But I'm going to take Memphis here plus 8. Plus 8.5 right now as the line continues to move higher on the Warriors. Despite the news cycle, feels like it's to the Grizzlies here. Let's see what you have in this one. All right. Grizzlies for Bar, and we're going to get a couple more points, Bar. Don't worry. Also, Robert here, he does like the under in this one. Jordy says, back on that Lakers game, I mean, look, they do have this other scorers in there for sure. I mean, no doubt about it. Maybe the complexion of the game is going to change with those injuries. Anyways, Warriors and Grizzlies, both teams are garbage, says Public Enemy. He likes the under, and Jordy's going to take the Warriors on the money line. All right, and one more here. And there's Nate. He was wondering if he missed him. Nate, big Patriots fan. He fell asleep during the Super Bowl. Oh my God, Nate. Oh my God. I can't believe that. That's going to hurt your credibility, actually. Come on. You can't fall asleep with your team in the Super Bowl. What a disgrace. Nate. Oh my God. Were they making fun of you or were you alone? All right. Let's go on here right now to the Sixers taking on the Trailblazers here tonight with Philadelphia, road favorite here in this one by 3. Total 228.5. Again, we just saw some movement here right now with this game with Joel Embiid out, so at least this one makes a little bit of sense here anyway. Take a look at the injury cycle in this one. Just saw some other information come in as well. Let's take a look at where it really stands. Okay, so Avia, he's questionable at least, so it looks like he's trending upward a little bit here. Maybe he can make the lineup. Robert Williams, he's questionable. Shaden Sharp, he's out of this game. Scoot Henderson is now probable. That's good news. I think he was just resting after one game because of his injury. You're going to have to nurse him back here a little bit. But Embiid, questionable. When it does come out early like this in the cycle, that usually means that he may be trending towards missing the game here anyway. And I think with the move on the spread here, I think that's indicative of what's possibly going to happen. So the total here is 228, but it's gone maybe going down here a little bit to 227.5 here in this one. So let's see what you got in this one. Final NBA game of the night with Philadelphia and Portland. This is a good card here tonight, huh? All right. Portland's starting to get some attention here in this one. Obviously, with the 1-point move, Portland comes in here off of a couple of wins right now over Memphis, back-to-back wins over Memphis at home. For Philadelphia here, a win on the road, 109-103 last time out. Philadelphia is still one of the best cover teams in the league and on the road, especially 17-6 against the spread on the road, 18-11 against the spread as a favorite. But Portland, one of the better cover teams at home, 19-14 as an underdog, 16-12 against the spread at home. Philadelphia is 16-13 to the over as a favorite. Portland 17-11 to the over as a favorite, but 13-20 to the under as an underdog, which they are here still. Portland just 2-6 straight up in their last 8 games. They're 1-5 ATS in their last 6. For Philadelphia here, they've won 6 of their last 7, really making some strides. 4-1 ATS in their last 5. Philadelphia's 4-2 straight up in their last 6, and Philadelphia's gone under in 6 of their last 9 games. All right, I'm going to take the under here in this one with Philadelphia and Portland here tonight in Portland. Let's see what your picks are here, if any, with, let's see, Bars on the under here, Public Enemies on the Sixers, and Kripke, if Avia's in there, maybe that's going to help him. Maybe he could get out. I'm just saying he's trending maybe to improving his health status here, but it does feel like he might be giving this one a go, or at least trying to make sure he can get a chance to get in this game tonight. Robert's on the under and Jordy's on the under. Kripke said the game that he doesn't like the card. He says it kind of sucks. I don't know. Look, Pistons Hornets. I think that's a quality game, right? I think the Cavaliers and Nuggets. I think that's going to look like a good game. You have the Lakers taking on the Thunder. So I don't know. I thought it looked like a pretty good card. Even that Sixers game there, but yeah, maybe some stars are out for these teams. Uh, you know, we've said it, and I think you guys have said it, guys, and they were definitely talking about it across the street there as well. As uh, a lot of times some of the stars kind of tack their little, especially the ones that maybe have to play in the All-Star game, kind of tack a few extra days off here in this last week before we hit the All-Star break right now. So maybe there's a little bit of that in play as well. Okay, let's go to the college card here tonight. We can take a look at a pretty good college card. They got 5 or 6 games to look at, and that's what we're going to look at. And we're going to start with just one extra board game here, if I may, with Jackson State and Pine Bluff. We'll go to the SWAC. Southland, MEAC. Look, we've got some clear-cut leaders, it feels like, in those leagues right now. And, of course, those leagues are always going to be determined by the conference tournaments anyways. So this one at least has a little bit of impact here right now on the standings with Jackson State and Pine Bluff. Here in this one, you've got Pine Bluff coming in 7-3. They are 2 games behind Cookman. Cookman looks like the best team, and they have almost qualified not to look at any games right now. But do have Jackson State, of course, with the Deshaun Ruffin. Here they are 6-4, Pine Bluff 7-3. So a loss here for either of these teams already going to doom them. They probably aren't going to catch Cookman anyways, but it does feel like this is the more significant of the 2 games. We just said the widely reported steam came in on the under. I had already touted the under on another show overnight. I kind of thought that was the way this one might go. These SWAC and MEAC games have had kind of a rash of unders here, just as they always seem to do this time of year. I think what happens is a lot of times these teams go and play their non-conference touring money schedules, maybe rack up some overs because they're getting beat so bad. Then you get down here into league play where they're competitive against one another. The teams are of similar ilk, and maybe they it's just better opponents for them to at least have some defense here. Still, it's 156.5. I gotta think that steam is probably right. Now, this one is a very interesting, some very interesting numbers actually between these 2 teams. You do have Pine Bluff coming in here on a 4-game winning streak here. Pine Bluff currently, oh man, I gotta update this one. Pine Bluff's an 8-point favorite right now. And the total here, like I said, we'll call it 156.5 right now. Okay, there we go. So Pine Bluff comes in here on a 4-game winning streak with wins over Southern, Mississippi Valley, the lowest ranked team in the country, Grambling, and Alcorn. They didn't even cover against Mississippi Valley, so that feels like trouble. Pine Bluff is favored for just the 4th time this season. They're 0-3 against the spread as a favorite. For Jackson State here, they are 6-8. ATS is a dog, 7-9 ATS on the road. But when you look at the season series between these 2 teams, Jackson State has won 10 straight games against Pine Bluff, going 6-3 against the spread. Now that means that Jackson State has usually been the favorite over Pine Bluff, and they just haven't covered. Here the roles are a little bit reversed, but Jackson State at least they covered against Mississippi Valley, okay, and Pine Bluff didn't. So I'm going with Jackson State here. Plus now it's 8. Oh, I'm going with Jackson State here. Maybe I definitely have not had as much success as maybe I'm used to in the HBCUs this season. I'm a little frustrated with them, but I'm going to try Jackson State here. If anything, I'm maybe changing my tune a little bit here with these type of matchups anyway, where I was kind of ending up on favorites here when I've seen the steam like this, but I got to take Jackson State here. They've owned this series. Pine Bluff is 4-1 straight up and 2-5 against the spread in their last seven. 7 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under when playing at Pine Bluff, although Pine Bluff is over in 4 of their last 5. Like I said, I've already seen this move to the under that I was agreeing with. So I'm going to take Jackson State here as I look at one game on the extra board here tonight. All right. Robert's going to lay it, though, with Pine Bluff. Here's Kane on Jackson State on the money line. Public Enemies on Jackson State. Crip Keys on Jackson State. And Twisted, see, you got it right there. Says Pine Bluff loses to Jackson State every time, and he'll take them here plus the 8. I'm going to rely on that too, Twisted. I'm going to kind of roll with the series history in this one. All right. Twisted's ready to go in the next game there, I think, with NC State. Look at that. He knows the schedule here with us. Let's go to it. Here it is with NC State taking on Louisville. College basketball action here for Monday night with Louisville coming in ranked 24th. NC State's unranked. We talked about a little bit this weekend with the ACC. They're going to get 8 teams in here, probably maybe more right now. With NC State coming in unranked despite a hot winning streak here for NC State of late. I mean, they've been tearing it up. Maybe they'll get into the top 25 here soon. NC State's won 6 straight, 4-2 against the spread in those games, but just 1-7 against the spread against Louisville. But Louisville's failed to cover in 8 of their last 10, despite winning 5 of their last 6. Usually they're favored, but favored maybe by too many points, and maybe that's the case here. Now, NC State did just fail in wins over Virginia Tech and SMU. They did not cover in those games, but still, NC State 5-4 against the spread on the road. But Louisville definitely having some woes here covering. Louisville's gone under in 7 of its last 10. NC State's gone over in 6 straight. I think the total's wrong on the screen there. Yeah, let me fix that. Sorry about that, gang. It's 161.5, maybe even 162. At a few spots, I even see 162.5. This is definitely closer to this is the real total here. Otherwise, we'd be all over it, right? So let's see what you have maybe in this one with NC State getting the points, playing well enough. We know Louisville, definitely knocking teams out here right now, but maybe not getting the money in some of these. So let's see what you have here. NC State and Louisville. All right.
Final.
We'll move into the hockey coverage here a little bit with the Germany-France game. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's go to the chat here in this one. And starting us off is going to be, well, we know Twisted, what he already said. Josh says NC State on the money line here. Twisted, hearkening back to the days of Jimmy Valvano. Louisville here for VAR. Robert's on the Wolfpack here. Dimitri says the public dog, he'll take Louisville and lay it. Yeah, it might be. I'm probably going to take NC State here. Cash Cane's on Louisville. Maybe over here. I think Louisville's starting to get that momentum. And, with Coach, once they start winning, you start kind of hard to get off of them. But, look, they just beat Notre Dame. They just beat Wake, but they failed to cover as a favorite in those games. Also failed as a favorite against Virginia Tech as well. I'm going to take NC State here as my play. Give me the Wolfpack in this one. All right. Twisted says whoever gets hot might be able to take this one down. So just underway here with Germany and France. Got to have some hockey here. All right. Next up. All right, we got here Belmont taking on Bradley in this one. Belmont here has just been insane right now, and you got to figure out of the mid majors here. Got to give some credence and respect to this record of 22-3 right now, and a long winning streak here in conference play right now for the Bruins. But they're going up against a Bradley team doing pretty well here right now. Of late, Bradley's won 2 of their last 3 games coming into this one. For the Belmont Bruins here, they've won 9 straight games and gone 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. They've also covered 4 of the last 6 meetings against Bradley. Overall, currently, Belmont is a 2.5 point favorite, total about 155, as you see there on the screen. Bradley here has gone just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, although they've won 13 of their last 18. Belmont's gone over in 12 of their last 18. Bradley's gone over in 8 of their last 12. And 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Belmont, I mean, is pretty terrific offensively. We know that. One of the top shooting teams in the country. They're 6th in the nation in field goal percentage, 7th in the nation in 3-point field goal percentage. That does kind of play a little bit into some strengths here, but Bradley's dismal from dismal on the defensive side. So maybe Belmont here can rout these guys. Let's see what you've got here in this one. And we're wrapping up the show here on a Monday. Got a couple more here, I think. Okay, here we go to the chat here with Belmont and Bradley. Okay, here we go. VAR is on Belmont. Cash Kane's on Belmont. Twisted is scared of Bradley's D. Yeah, see, that's what I thought too, but the numbers don't kind of bear out, I think it feels like. He'll take Belmont. They own this series, he says, and Robert's on Belmont as well. I'm going to take the under in this one. This one's only gone up. I don't really see it that way. And right now it's a 155 or so. I'm going to take the under here with Belmont and Bradley. I kind of agree with you guys in the chat. I already was on a touting Belmont here a little bit as well. So, all right, let's see. I think we got a couple more here on a Monday night. Next up, Wilmington taking on College of Charleston. Here, college basketball action for a Monday. Pretty big game here, really. If you look at the whole card, yeah, we got one more awesome game coming up, but this one does have a pretty big bearing right now in the standings. If you take a look currently here at the Coastal, these are the top 2 teams in the conference here, so this is a big game of the season, actually. Charleston comes in here with a 9-2 conference record. They're 16-8 overall. Wilmington comes in 8-2 in conference play with a 19-4 record coming in. Now, Hofstra might be the best team in the league, but they've had a few losses along the way, so they're almost out of contention here, and these 2 teams have separated themselves, especially Charleston right now, who is on a bit of a winning streak here currently. Charleston comes in here having chewed up 5 straight here and covered in 5 straight games as well. They are 10-4 against the spread as a favorite. Now this one is 3. It was 1. I've missed the boat here. Oh, you know what? It's back down to 2. I'm going to take Charleston. I can tell you that right now. Give me Charleston here. The total's 148.5. It's gone down here a little bit. I think there's some value in that too. I like this game. I'm taking Charleston here against Wilmington in this big battle here tonight. Wilmington is just 8-13 against the spread overall, 4-6 against the spread on the road. This is only the 4th time they've been an underdog this season. They are 1-2 against the spread as a dog for Wilmington here. They had back-to-back wins over Hampton and Towson and covered the spread before losing to William and Mary at home last time out, 85-78. Charleston here, though, on a roll. right now. They've won 8 straight at home. Now, Wilmington has covered 13 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams, but I think the move has been pretty solid here. This is one I'm not going to kind of end up on the season series, if you will, but Wilmington has gone just 3-10-1 against the spread, despite this pretty good record here. Usually they've been favored by a few too many games, but a few too many points anyway. Let's go to the chat here with this one. Wilmington's gone over in 6 of their last 7, although 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Good game here. Okay, let's see here. VAR is on the over here in this one, it looks like. Robert is on Wilmington here, plus the points. And Kane says, Charleston, I think in conference play, right? Undefeated at home in conference play. I think they had a couple losses somewhere in there. Hello to MJ in the chat. And Charleston beats the brakes off of them with rest. But when it comes to Wilmington, they lose. Yeah, no doubt this season series favors Wilmington. I mentioned 13-2 against the spread in the last 15 for Wilmington. They've also won several in a row. They've won each game in the last, 3 years, I think, at least, right? So I'm going to take Charleston, though, here at home in this big game. All right, one more here on the morning steam. Thank you for joining me here on the show. And look at this one. Boy, look, Arizona's number 1. We know that. They've been awesome. Actually, the line here, though, is definitely down to 2 here or so. Total 153 here right now. So just interesting because Kansas, look, we're never going to bury Kansas. We're not going to say that they're not still a quality team. Peterson, he's been out of the lineup. We're hearing more and more talk because Peterson's back in there pretty consistently right now and looking great. I still contend, he's one of these guys that, hey, once you're injury prone, you're always injury prone. But, hey, he's back in there doing well. Both teams come in here hot. Kansas especially, just when you kind of wanted to say, hey, maybe they're not, a typical Kansas team here. They put it all together here again all of a sudden and looking pretty good. But, Arizona's really looking good. Kansas has won 7 straight games, going 6-1 against the spread. Arizona's covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall, although they really have only met a couple of times here of late in conference play. Last year it was Arizona winning 77-68 at home. They did cover 3.5 in that game. Arizona's 7-2 against the spread on the road, 12-7 against the spread as a favorite. KU's been a terrific cover as well, 9-4 against the spread at home, and 4-3 against the spread as an underdog. Arizona's gone under in 5 of their last 6. Kansas has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Coming into this one, this total, like I said, has really gone up from 151.5 to 153. It actually touched 154.5 before it's come back down here a little bit. The steam came in on the over here, but I would think it might go under. Anyways, I got to take Arizona here. I know Kansas took the steam in this one, and I might be just going with the eye test here, but I think it seems like when Kansas kind of hits that pinnacle a little bit here of the last couple of seasons, when they haven't been, a national championship contender necessarily, just maybe a strong. I remember when Kansas would win the conference championship every single year for 17 straight seasons. And we know that doesn't happen anymore right now, but I got to take Arizona here in this one. This roll just continues here. Yes, it's going to be a showdown of the 2 superstars a little bit here with Koa Pete and with Peterson here, but I got to take Arizona in this one now, especially down here laying 2 points in the big game of the night. Let's hear from you in the chat. Should be a great game. And we've got comments. Twisted says under for him. Kripke says, look, Kansas here going to upset them. And maybe overtime, says Kane. Twisted says that Kansas at home, it can be a bit scary when taking Arizona. Okay. And should be a Kansas spot, says Kane. Not easy place to go to Allen Fieldhouse, right? Public Enemy's on the under here. I've got to think under, right? Public Enemy. Roberts on Arizona. Twisted says, that's just it. I mean, look, these are some great spread numbers for both teams have been outstanding. It's kind of amazing when you think about it for Arizona too, right? Because as good as they've been, and certainly a top contending team here, but they've still knocked it out of the park against the spread. But Kansas, one loss at home this season. But Arizona, can't win them all, right? I mean, is Arizona really going to go through the regular season undefeated here? Well, so far so good. Yeah, I got you, Kane. Yeah, I know what you meant. And VAR is on Arizona here as well. And that's going to be one worth watching big time tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Did see here just a little bit of an update from Kansas in this game. Elmarco Johnson, he is questionable for the game. Wilder Evans and Justin Cross are out, but not too concerned there. But I think this is one game that does have a little bit of injury bug for Kansas here anyway. Don't know, they don't have the status here, but it just came in within the last hour or so that Evers and Cross for Kansas would be out of the game. It just doesn't says undisclosed here for their status. Arizona 10-0, Kansas 8-2 here right now, and with those guys, you're talking about really just some role players there, pretty much for the most part. Jackson, I think he missed the last game too here. Yeah, he missed the last game. I mean, he's just basically about 5 points. 5 points per game scorer overall. So, all right, that's going to do it here for the Morning Steam. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Great job today with all the picks. And let's see who else there. Stop Geo, thank you. Nice to see you. And Cash and Kane in there, thank you. Twisted, there's his plays again in the chat. Let's do the drawing. Let's hear from Mikey Money, and then we'll get back to you here in just a moment. Do the drawing.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, should be an awesome day here with plenty of Olympic action still to come as well. Let's go to the drawing here and see who we got winning. Greg Gibson, Robert McCormick, Cash Kane in there. Stop Joe. Greg's in there too. Greg could win. Greg could still win. Kripke wins with the Georgia Bulldogs. Great to always have Kripke in here with his contributions to us in the chat. Kripke, you can use the promo code WINNER to get a month of plays, or you can really appreciate you. If you're already in there, I'll put another month on, but thanks a lot, as always, Kripke, for joining us here, and that's going to do it for the show. We'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Get you ready Mikey Money will be here tonight. Get ready for the primetime action with pre-gaming. We got a great card tonight, so Mikey will break it down with you. And make sure you check him out on the show here as well. All right, that's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow. More Morning Steam. Have a great Sports Betting Monday. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.